A trip around the Golden Circle usually involves stops at highlights like Gullfoss, the Geyser, the Silfra Fissure, and Thingvellir National Park. These stops can easily fill a day itinerary, especially if you snorkeled the Silfra Fissure. However, there are a bunch of other stops around the Golden Circle that can fill an entire day itinerary as well. In fact, you could spend multiple days exploring the Golden Circle alone. Welcome to Sarah's Scuba and Travel channel. In this video, I want to share a one-day itinerary for the Golden Circle that includes stops beyond Gullfoss, the Geyser, the Silfra Fissure, and Thingvellir National Park. If you want to make your visit to the Golden Circle a multi-day adventure, where geographically appropriate, you can add the more popular sites that I just mentioned to the ones highlighted in this video, as well as others like Kvansvik Hot Springs, Bruarfoss, and more. The Golden Circle is easy to drive and access from Reykjavik. I recommend renting a car so you can take your time and tailor your itinerary to your interests and time frame. The first stop on our itinerary is the geothermal exhibit at On Power. You will immediately see it from the highway as steam appears to be billowing out of the earth. If you happen to rent an electric car, you can charge it on site during your visit. On Power owns and operates one of the largest geothermal power plants in the world. I recommend purchasing the self-guided audio tour online prior to your visit, so you can reserve your spot and save 10%. You will want to make sure your cell phone is charged and you bring your own headphones or earpods with you, as you will be using your own device for the audio tour. I scheduled our tour for the first tour of the day, which was at 9 a.m. We left Reykjavik at 8:20 a.m. and got there in plenty of time. Iceland operates on 100% renewable energy. When you enter, you will check in at the desk and get information on accessing their Wi-Fi and which app to download for the tour. You will start your tour on the first floor with an introduction to Iceland's geothermal activity due to the island sitting on the Mid-Atlantic Oceanic Ridge, where the Eurasian and North Atlantic tectonic plates move in opposite directions approximately 2 centimeters per year. There is also a magma plume located under the center of the island. As water flows over these hot spots, it heats up, creating steam that this plant turns into energy. Next, I recommend making your way to the third floor to learn the history of geothermal energy in Iceland. Then you will be introduced to exhibits that explain how the plant transports the water and steam out of the earth and transforms the heat into energy, eventually distributing the energy and hot water to homes and businesses in Reykjavik. You can walk outside on the roof to see the flash tanks and cooling stations where the hot water is turned into steam. Then enter the turbine hall to see the huge turbines that spin as a result of the steam to produce energy for the city of Reykjavik. There's also a display featuring the various minerals that are found during the drilling process, as well as the various types of rocks that are found on the surface and deeply underground in Iceland. I recommend spending approximately 1 hour navigating through the displays. Don't forget to leave some time to stop at the display on the second floor, which explains how On Power is partnering with Carbfix to capture carbon dioxide and return it deep into the earth to decrease CO2 emissions. Then, before you leave, you might want to check out the gift shop or cafe. As you leave the property, I recommend continuing your tour by exiting the opposite direction you entered. This road will take you over a mountain along a huge pipes that are transporting water and steam to the plant. The slightly larger pipes carry the steam and the smaller ones carry the separated water. At the top of the mountain, you will see the separation station. The boreholes are drilled anywhere from 1 to 3 kilometers into the earth. The 90-degree bends in the pipes are used to allow the pipes to move and prevent heat expansion. The steam in water is about 1,000 degrees Celsius when it comes out of the earth. These long pipes help it to start cooling down. Eventually, you will find yourself back at Route 1 and off to our next stop, Kerid Crater. To get to the crater, you will take Route 1 to Route 35. The travel time is approximately 30 minutes. You will see signs for the crater directly off the highway. Parking is free and the lot is not very big. However, people leave pretty frequently, so be patient. You will get a spot. There is an entrance fee of 600 krona per person to walk the crater. The colors of the crater are beautiful, even on a gloomy, rainy day. You can walk around the top of the crater to get views from different angles. It is believed that Kerid Crater formed approximately 6,500 years ago when most of the magma flowed out of the magma chamber during an eruption. Once the magma chamber was empty or close to empty, rocks collapsed into the magma chamber. Today, the water levels change based on the water table levels, anywhere from 7 to 14 meters deep. Once you get to the top of the crater, you will notice other smaller craters in the area. That's because the Kerid Crater is part of a row of craters. Stay on the marked paths and make your way back to the entrance. From here, you can walk down to the water's edge and make your way around the path. We spent about 45 minutes to an hour at the crater. Pay close attention to your time as the next stop is approximately 20 minutes away. This is the Fridheimar. There are a few highlights at this stop. The good news is that one of those is lunch. You will have the opportunity to dine in their tomato greenhouse at the on-site restaurant that focuses on the key ingredient, the tomato. Your table will most likely be right next to the tomato plants. You may see bumblebees buzzing around. They are not dangerous and necessary for pollination. Your server will introduce you to the greenhouse and provide recommendations on dishes to try. My husband had the unlimited tomato soup, which is served buffet style with a variety of homemade breads and butter and cucumber salsa on the side. Even if you do not order the tomato soup, you are welcome to help yourself to the homemade bread bar. We also split the salad with an added skewer of chicken and the heirloom and burrata dish. The salad was one of the best I've ever had. The tomatoes are so flavorful. You will find a little basil plant at your table with scissors. You may cut fresh basil for your meal as well. There is a drink menu with different types of Bloody Marys. We didn't have a drink, but we definitely tried the dessert. The tomato cheesecake was so good. The tomato is a gel on top of the cheesecake part, and so it gives it a little bit of tomato flavor with your cheesecake bite. Did I say how good it was? You can walk around the greenhouse after your meal. They pride themselves on growing 4 different types of tomatoes on property year-round using green energy, pure water, and organic pest control. In addition, they grow a variety of other vegetables, edible flowers, and fruits. They do not export their produce outside of Iceland, so you will need to travel to Iceland to get to taste these amazing fruits and vegetables. If you are interested in learning more about the greenhouse and the processes they use, you can schedule a greenhouse tour and visit for a fee. You want to make all of your reservations in advance by contacting them through email or booking a table on their website. The day of our visit, the restaurant was turning people away and recommending that they try the wine bar and bistro on site instead, since they were at capacity due to reservations. Our reservation was at 12:30 p.m. and lunch took approximately 1 hour. Before leaving the restaurant, you might want to check out the products that are available for purchase in their little tomato shop. If you are worried about trying to transport your purchases home, you can order items from their website and have them shipped to your home address as well. But this stop isn't just for lunch. The owners also have a small horse breeding business. You may have seen a few horses outside in the stable area on your walk to the restaurant. I recommend scheduling a stable visit in advance. During the summer, they offer horse shows. You might want to inquire in advance if there are any scheduled for the day of your visit. A visit to the stables starts with a short introduction of the Icelandic horse and what makes the breed unique from other breeds, as well as the variety of colors they come in. There are 40 different colors, with new colors appearing in offspring. As you are driving around Iceland, you will see horses roaming free. There aren't any wild horses in Iceland. All of the horses have owners and are microchipped with the owner's information. The Icelandic horses have been so isolated from the rest of the world that they do not receive vaccines, because there's not a threat to them in Iceland. This means that if a horse leaves Iceland, they are not allowed to return. In fact, riders that come from other countries will many times buy all new equipment to work with the horses in Iceland, so that they do not transfer any germs or diseases to the horses through their clothing and equipment. The Icelandic horse has 5 gaits. These gaits are genetic. The horses are not trained to perform these gaits. The training that occurs is to teach the horse to learn signals from the riders on when to perform a particular gait. It is all about communication. The stable visit includes a demonstration of 5 gaits. The first 3 gaits are normal gaits for most horses: the walk, trot, and canter. The 4th gait demonstrated is the tolt. During this gait, the ride is so smooth that the rider can carry a mug of beer without spilling a drop. The last gait is the flying pace. With this gait, the horse must perform it at a fast speed. You will notice the horse moves the front and back leg on the same side simultaneously, so they glide in the air. The cost of the private stable visit is pricey, but I enjoyed seeing the demonstration. If you don't have plans to do a horse riding tour during your visit in Iceland, this might be a good option for you to see what these beautiful horses are capable of. The visit to the stables lasts approximately 30 minutes. At this point, it will be time to move on to your next site. It was getting close to 2 p.m. and we had a 2:30 reservation approximately 20 minutes away at Laugarvatn Fontana, so we had to get moving. At Laugarvatn Fontana, we were scheduled to participate in their bakery tour where we learned their process of baking bread in the earth using geothermal heat. We got to visit the oven, which was the bubbling sand next to the lake. The bread was placed in the ground 24 hours prior and marked with a set of rocks to indicate the time of placement. Your guide will dig up the pot and show you the fruits of their labor. Take a look in the hole. You will see how hot the earth really is as the water will be bubbling. Next, the guide will dig a new hole in the same location and place a fresh pot in the ground for the group that visits the next day for the 2:30 p.m. tour. Once the new pot is secured in the hole for baking, your guide will take the hot pot over to the lake to cool it down. The lake water is quite chilly away from the geothermal hot springs. Then they will remove the plastic wrap, which is used to seal the pot from the hot water and sediment getting in during the cooking process. Once the lid is removed, you will have your first peek at the finished loaf. Then you will make your way back into the lobby where the guide will cut the bread and provide butter and fish, either salmon or trout, for you to try the bread. You are welcome to eat as much as you would like, as the bread is usually quite large for the group. The bread is a sweet rye bread, and in addition to getting to eat the bread, you leave with the recipe to try to bake it on your own in your own conventional oven at home. After the bakery tour, check in and visit the geothermal baths. I recommend making your reservations online in advance for the bakery tour as well as your visit to the geothermal baths. In addition to your entrance fee, I recommend renting a towel. That way you don't have to worry about bringing your own. You will have an armband that gives you access to a locker and can be used for purchasing drinks at the outside window. You are required to take a shower before entering the springs. There are public and private showers available. I recommend leaving your towel in a cubby near the showers so you can easily access it when you're done with the springs. Laugarvatn Fontana is different than other hot springs I have visited in Iceland, as these are much more like traditional swimming pools and hot tubs with warm water being pumped in. Each pool does have its own estimated temperature range. There are ones that are warmer than others at various depths. There are steam rooms and saunas available for use as well. You can take a plunge in the lake if you want to add the cold water experience to your rejuvenation process. There is no time limit for your visit, so once you're done, you can head back into the locker room and take a shower. There are hair dryers available to dry your hair and a swimsuit dryer centrifuge to get as much water out of your suit as possible. The last stop for the day is a little bit of backtracking to Bruarfoss. You will pass it on your way to Laugarvatn Fontana, but most likely you will not have enough time to stop if you're making the same reservation times as I did. It is not too far, roughly 15-20 minutes. Using your GPS, you want to navigate to the Bruarfoss parking lot. There is a parking area right off the highway, but this requires a hike to the falls. I highly recommend taking the 3-kilometer bumpy road to the parking lot. There is a small fee of 750 krona to park in the parking lot, but it's well worth it to not have to do the hike in the rain possibly, after a nice relaxing afternoon in the geothermal pools. You can pay the fee using your smartphone or the pay station on site. The walk to the waterfall is not too long, and there is a paved path to the falls. This is referred to as the bluest waterfall in Iceland, and you can see why. The blue of this waterfall is beautiful. You can cross the bridge to get views of the falls and explore different lookout points before returning to your car and making the 3-kilometer bumpy ride back to the highway. At this point, it is well into the evening, and you will want to start your journey back to Reykjavik. The drive is approximately an hour and a half, so sit back and enjoy the scenery. Remember, there is so much to see on the Golden Circle. You can easily add more sites to your itinerary or swap out some of the recommendations in this video for others like Gullfoss, the Geyser, the Silfra Fissure, Thingvellir National Park, Kvammsvik Hot Springs, Bruarfoss, and more. Whatever itinerary you choose to build, I hope you enjoy your adventure and the beauty of Iceland. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. If you would like to support future productions, please donate using the Super Thanks button or buy me a snack using the link in the description below. Please join the Facebook group and follow me on Instagram for more content.